This conference will now be recorded.
Everyone, welcome to the Kubernetes with Docker session. So I'm going to share my screen. Could you please confirm everyone? Could you please confirm our chart? Are you able to see the screen? Please, are you able to get the voice? Could you please confirm? Are you able to see the blue screen? Could you please confirm, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Anand. Okay, Bharat. Hi, Bharat. Girish. Hemant. Kiran. Kishore. Hi. Hi, Narasimha. Hi, guys. I hope you're getting the voice. Vinay, Vikram, Sumit,
Yes.
Srikanth, Del. Yeah, could you please name it correctly? So, yeah, okay, Prasad. Hi, Bharadwaj, Bharatraj, Muhammad. Hi, 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 guys. Hi. Okay, I hope you're doing well, guys. Okay. So yeah, let's start our today's session, the first session in our course. Okay, so DevOps, right? So those who are currently working as a DevOps engineer, those who are trying to work as a DevOps engineer, looking for the jobs, right? The current market, okay. So you learn DevOps or you're learning DevOps, right? So right now the market looking for the people who have Docker with Kubernetes experience. Okay, there are very less courses based on Docker with Kubernetes in the market. Okay, but the demand for this Kubernetes and Docker tools are more. If you see it in the Naukri, okay, the people who are looking for these jobs. So let me open the Naukri. Okay, we can see the job openings, how it is there and what they are looking for. Okay, so you can look for Kubernetes with Docker or Kubernetes, comma Docker. You can see almost 13,000 jobs in the market. People looking for experience of Kubernetes Docker and experience of Kubernetes and Docker, right? And experience of, so everywhere you can see Kubernetes is mandatory, right? So right now the market out of almost uh, for example, 30,000 jobs are there. In the 30,000, almost 30,000 jobs, 13, almost 50% of the DevOps jobs, people looking for the skill set of Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so today, I mean, we are going to start our new batch. This is extremely an advanced course. Okay, extremely advanced course. With this training, you can look for the certification Kubernetes Associate. Okay, you have a CKA administration certified Kubernetes administrator certification also. You can do with this course. We will cover advanced level. We'll cover advanced level. If you see our course content, okay, so you can see, you can collect it from the management. So this is our course content. Okay, we will cover Docker in depth, and after that we are covering the Kubernetes. Okay, and we will see some advanced Kubernetes objects, advanced Kubernetes, and you will see in cloud level. So I will show it in different clouds. I will show it in AWS, I will show it in Azure as well. Okay, and advanced creation, advanced deployments using help. Okay, and with the project based training, we'll cover the Kubernetes and Docker project in Jenkins. In Jenkins, we'll have a real-time project. Okay, with this. So you will get the soft copies. You will get the soft copies, and this course is almost 30 hours. 30 hours only on weekends. Only on weekends. So we will have 1.5 hour session, and we'll have some times we have extreme advanced level. So we have almost 30 hours. So it can be 8 weekends, 8 into 3 or 8 into 4. So we'll have sometimes 3-hour classes, okay, like that. So mostly we'll have 30 hours course. It is okay only on weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The timing is 11:30 to 1 or 11:30 to 2, like that. Okay. So yeah, initially we'll have some 1 hour or 1.5 hour sessions, and slowly we are going to the in-depth, and you will get the soft copies of the material, soft copies. Okay, and you will get the interview questions for the Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, and real-time based one project we are covering with Jenkins. Okay, so before going to start our demo, today's agenda is what is DevOps and how the Docker and Kubernetes is helpful. Docker and Kubernetes is helpful for the DevOps engineer. Okay, what is Docker? What is Kubernetes? Okay, and we can see we can see how the normal computers and how the Docker computers, right? So how it will work. So we'll see the architecture. So in our today's session. So yeah. So before going to start our today's session, today's agenda. So I would like to introduce myself. This is Raju. I'm your AWS and DevOps trainer. Okay, and I will teach the separate tools like Ansible, Terraform. I will teach Docker and Kubernetes, Azure DevOps, Azure AWS, right? And also, yeah, I have almost 10 years of IT experience in the DevOps and cloud services. Okay, I started my career as a Windows admin, and then I moved to the AWS cloud, and then I started working on the Kubernetes, Docker. Almost I have 10 years of IT experience. In that 8 years, I worked for this Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, and I have 8 years of experience in training as well. Okay, I trained many batches for the Saag technologies. So in my 10 years of IT experience, right? So let's start our today's session. Okay, what is DevOps? What is DevOps? So can anyone say that what is DevOps? What is DevOps?
Bridge between development and operating system.
Yeah, development
And,
with
and
operation.
Hello,
Yes,
Raj. Am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
Yeah. This is Sharif. Okay.
Hi,
Uh,
Sharif.
Yeah, hi. Myself is a like performance tester. So I'm currently working like I have around 9 years of experience as a performance tester with no code experience. So I just want to understand how this DevOps and this Azure will help my career.
Yes, yes. Your good name?
Sheriff.
Yes, sorry. So we'll have that what is DevOps and where the job openings are there, how we this Kubernetes and Docker help you. I will cover. Okay. If I missed
Mm,
anything, you can ask me in the at the end of the session. Because since we started, so we can
mm,
discuss your doubts at the end. Okay. And
okay.
yeah, so if I missed anything, you can ask me. Okay. And if you have any doubts in between about the topic, you can ask me. And career related, we can discuss at the end of the session. Okay. Yeah, we will help you in the career related every kind of any kind of doubts. So yeah, so we can continue our session. At the end, I will give you more time. You can ask your doubts. Okay.
Okay. No problem, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So yes, Bharat, the time period is 30 hours. Okay. So development with operations, right? So as a DevOps engineer, okay, you don't need to do any development. You don't need to do any operations. So development is nothing but developing some code. So no coding required for this course. Okay, no coding required. You need some scripting knowledge. You need some scripting knowledge. So that's why I will cover in our course. So what are the files in Kubernetes and Docker? Those are simple AML files. What is AML? Can anyone say that? What is AML?
Yet another
Yes.
markup language.
Yet another markup language.
Yes, at another markup language. Okay, so you don't need to learn any long like script, any programming language. This at another markup language, OML, is easy understandable. Easy understandable. If you see Kubernetes YAML file, okay, YAML file, which is simply okay, it is simply key value represent simply one side heading and with the value. So if you say API version and the value, kind and the value, and metadata in that some subheadings in that one name and the value. So easy understandable language. Okay, you don't need to be any sign or any uh, absolute language knowledge is not required. So simple at another markup. So you don't need to do any development. Okay, and what is operations? What is operations? So operations is nothing but, so for example, few companies have their own data centers, own computers. So for example, this is called IBM. Okay, so IBM having their systems. Okay, so sometimes these systems are powered off or the storage cable is removed suddenly, or for example, this server is 8 GB volume, 8 GB RAM. Someone needs to be updated physically, right? Who will do that? It's operation people will do. So development people work is developing the code. Operations team work is like changing the RAMs, changing the systems, and upload. I mean, cable checking the cables, right? So that is operation guys work, creating user, providing access to the user. So some easy kind of work, right? So here development is operations, but what is the work of a DevOps engineer? So simple. So consider your WhatsApp application. Consider this is your WhatsApp application. So right now, okay, this is your WhatsApp application. Who are updating it? Who are upgrading the version? For example, recently, WhatsApp is introduced group call. But how the application is upgraded in their side, So for example, so this is one user, this is another user, this is another user, Okay, and consider this is his mobile. This is his mobile. This is his mobile. So actually, if you want to, for example, currently the version is V3 version is there. Version 3 is there. So version 4 is having group call option. Version 4 is having group call option, and who will update version 3 to version 4? So actually in your mobile, you are not uninstalling the previous version. You're not uninstalling. What you're doing, you are simply upgrading from the Play Store. But so whenever you upgrade, it will collect the latest version and it will update the latest version in your mobile. But who will do these changes in the main application? In the main application. So it should be in some server, right? So application server, we can say, where the application WhatsApp application is running, right? WhatsApp app. Who is do that? So as a DevOps engineer, you will update this version. You will release the latest version. Okay, you will release the latest version. So the programmers in the company, what they are doing, where they are simply updating the code. They are developing the code. So what you are doing as a DevOps engineer, you are, so consider there are two developers. They saved their project code in a project code server. So once they uploaded one by one version files, for example, version 5 with group call, version 6 with group broadcast, right? So as a DevOps engineer, you will take the project code and you will update the latest versions using different tools. Here, DevOps is nothing but development with operations. Okay, development with operations, and you no need to develop any code. You should work with the developers. You should take the project code and you will install the application. You will install the latest versions. So here the project WhatsApp application, it can be in different formats. Okay, so simple DevOps is nothing but it's a practice and it's a set of tools. So for example, for installing the latest version, you can use one application called Jenkins, and you can use the upgrading that latest version using some configuration tools also like Ansible, and the server management, like creating this application WhatsApp application server using some Terraform tool. So there are set of tools in the market, but in our course, okay, in our course, we are covering this Docker and Kubernetes. So you should know that what is Docker, what is Kubernetes, right? So let's understand. So Docker and Kubernetes. So I can say that the other name of Kubernetes is K8. If you observe the middle letters in K and S is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's why they named it as K8 also. K8s. Okay. So Kubernetes are K8s. K8s. So consider your laptop. So let's understand with diagrammatic approach what is Docker and what is Kubernetes. So consider this is your laptop. Okay, simple. This is your laptop. Okay, so this is your laptop. So in the laptop, you are running this what? Windows operating system. Right? This is your Windows OS. Right? So if I ask you to install Linux, what you will do? Can anyone say what you will do? Basically, if I ask you to install Linux, what you will do? Linux, anyone know that, right? Linux is also one of the operating system So Windows is graphical user. You can see this graphical, I mean some color set of thing, right? But the Linux is a simple black screen. So if I ask you to install, Linux, what you will do? So few people, what they will
I will
basically
download
they will,
the
yes, yeah, yeah, continue.
download the executive file from the internet
Yes, yes,
of
exactly.
Linux. Yeah.
So what you will do, you will download the latest Linux operating system file and you will uninstall this Windows, right? And you will start installing the Linux. That is one approach, right? That is one approach. So, I can say without uninstalling this Windows also, you can install Linux on top of your Windows. So in that case, you need to install some third-party tools, third-party software, which will help you to manage Linux servers in your Windows. So you can use some third-party tools like, we can call those softwares is hypervisors. Hypervisors. So these hypervisors helpful, will be helpful to you to install or create Windows operating system or a Linux operating system or a Windows or a Linux. So for example, your laptop RAM is 4 GB. You can provide 1 G, some 500 GB to this one, 500 GB to the 500 MB to this one, 500 MB to this one. You can share your RAM search. So you can create 4, for example, one Windows server, one Linux server, right? One Windows, one Linux. So you can manage multiple operating systems on top of your Windows. So you don't need to uninstall this Windows. You can manage Linux or Windows operating systems. So I can call these ones a virtual machine. Virtual means we can't see that, but those are exist. So these are our virtual machines. These hypervisor softwares you can install. There are some few operating system hypervisor softwares called Oracle, VirtualBox, and VMware. Okay, these are the different types of softwares which will help you to create virtual machines or other operating system servers in your main OS. So I can say this one is guest. So these are host operating system. This is your Windows is host operating system, and these 4 I can say are guest operating system because these are guest to your host, right? So these are guest, these are host, right? So let's take this. So let's take this. I already installed this Oracle VirtualBox. So this is my Oracle VM VirtualBox. So I can use this software. So as someone said, if you want to use that, you need to download that. If you want to use Linux, you need to download Linux, right? You can see this is Oracle VirtualBox software or a hypervisor software. Okay, and you can create whatever the machine you want. If you want Windows machine, you can create Windows machine. For example, I want to create some Prasad Linux software. Okay, and in that Linux you have different types. So I would like to go with some Ubuntu 64-bit. Click on next, and I want to provide some RAM to this, some 500 I24. Click on next, and yes, let me click on next. And this is hard disk size. If you want to provide some 20 GB, you can provide 20 GB. Let me create it. This is Prasad Rhymes. So as someone said, if you want to install this Ubuntu Linux operating system, you need to download that file from the web itself. Okay. For example, if you want Ubuntu file, so I will show that how to create and how to download in coming classes. So if you want this Ubuntu, you can download it. So you can download this latest release version. Okay, so we can discuss that, not a problem. In coming classes, we can discuss how to install this Oracle VirtualBox and how to manage your servers. You can see that, right? So we can use this Oracle VirtualBox, and you can go to settings and you can upload your file in the storage section. You can upload your file, so that .exe file you have to download. Right. So let me close this. It will take some more time. I don't want this one. Yeah. Okay. So you can manage your operating systems on top of your Windows, and you can use it. Okay. So, but the thing is, so if you want to create this virtual machine, it will take, for example, normally your Windows also, if you want to install Windows, it will take some 2 to 3 hours. It will take some 2 to 3 hours to create this Windows, So, right. So if you want to install this one also, it will take some at least 1 hour or 1.5 hour. Okay, if it is less version file, so less size file. So here, and what is another problem with these hypervisors? So if you are using more VMs, the RAM size will be adjusted, and the storage size will be adjusted. So
Hello.
Hello, Raju. We are not able to hear you.
A class is having a lot.
hello, is it audible now?
Now it is
There is some
audible.
power
Is
cut now. Is it okay? Okay, thank you,
yeah. Yeah.
guys. So let me share my screen again. Share it. So is it visible, right? The paint.
Yes, it's visible faint.
Yeah. Thank you. So, and what is the disadvantage with the hypervisor is, so if you are using n number of, or mostly if your RAM is 4 GB and if you are using 4 VMs, so it may stuck your system. The main disadvantage with
That's mean
this
insufficient memory it's having.
is it may. Yes, hello, you're not audible. May
So
stuck
continue.
your system,
Please continue.
right? It is getting right. So it may stuck your, it may stuck your system. So yeah, if you're getting any voice break, you can reconnect again. Okay, so
No, here some bandwidth issue. That's why I'm getting.
I joined from mobile, so maybe that's the reason there is some power cut. So so there will be some disadvantages with the hypervisors. It may stuck your system. And if you are using n number of, virtual missions, so we can call these ones are virtual missions, it may stuck your system. So to avoid this kind of situation, there is a tool called Docker is introduced. So Docker is a containerization tool. So which one? Docker is a containerization. So it will contain the operating system. It will contain the application. will contain the application, and it is a containerization tool. Okay, so we can use this, okay, Docker tool, okay, on top of your Windows. So how we are using hypervisor? So you can use Docker as a hypervisor kind of software, but which is having more options, So we have this hypervisor software, and consider your again. So this is your laptop. Okay, you're getting right. So this is your laptop. So on top of your laptop, yes, Windows is installed, Linux is installed. Okay, Windows is installed, Linux is installed. So I can consider this is Windows, okay, which is installed is my host operating system. So how we are installing hypervisor? And you can install the software called Docker Engine. You can install the software called Docker Engine. So this is my Docker Engine. Okay, this is my Docker Engine. So on top of my Docker Engine, you can create your servers or a Docker containers. Okay, so this is your Docker container, this is your Docker container, and which will be lightweight, very lightweight. It will take just 5 to 10, less than 5 minutes, you can create it. So what I will do, I will connect to my AWS account. I will connect to my AWS account. I will try to create one Docker server and install the Docker software. Okay, you can use Docker. You can use Docker in Windows operating system, and you can install Docker in Linux operating system. Okay, let's try to do that. So let me connect to my AWS account. So we can discuss in coming classes how to create a AWS account and how to connect to that. So we can understand in coming classes. Okay, how to remove this? Yeah. So let me sign into the console. Is anyone having AWS accounts? Is anyone having AWS account?
Yeah, I'm having
Hello.
AWS account. Hello?
Okay. So yes, yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. So let me connect to my AWS account. I will show you in coming classes how to create a AWS account. So let me connect to my account. So this is my AWS account. Let me connect to it. So, and I will provide the password. Okay, I'm connecting to the AWS account. So what I will show you, one containerized application. I will create one Jenkins server as a container. Okay. So I will try to create one Windows and Linux servers, and I will try to install Docker in it, and I will try to create one simple microservice. So I can say Docker servers, Docker containers are microservices. We are calling these are VMs, and you can call these are containers, which will contain the software, which will contain the operating system. Okay, let me connect to that. So you can use EC2 is one of the service to create a server. We can discuss about the EC2 in coming classes. And also there is prerequisite required for this codes, that is AWS EC2 service. Okay, I will cover, and EKS service and Azure EKS service. So I will cover, and okay, and Linux troubleshooting commands required, 100+ commands. I will cover those as well. Okay. So yes, so you're getting these concepts, and this Oracle virtual box also, I will take some 30 minutes to cover it. So this Oracle virtual box also. Oracle virtual box, VB, and one kind of tool called WAG. Okay, these are the things which we are covering in our course. So anyway, let me create one Linux server, and I want to install the Docker engine. On top of the Docker engine, I will install the containers. Okay, let me launch it. Let me create one simple Docker server. So this is my Docker server. I would like to name my server is Docker server, and I want to install in that server. Okay, in this server here you are using laptop for the example, right? I'm using here simple AWS Linux server. Okay, so in that there is Linux OS. So I will take some Amazon Linux OS type, and I would like to go with some 1 GB RAM for my server, and I want to create one password file to connect to the Linux server. So this is my Docker one. So this is my password file, and I would like to use the networking ports. I want to use the all the ports. So you can follow the recording after that. So I just open all the ports. Okay, and I want to provide the hard disk for my system is some 20 GB hard disk. Okay, and I am trying to create the Docker server. This is my Docker server. Let me launch it. Right, and if you see your server is created, this is your Docker Linux server. Okay, which is in pending state. So this is my Docker server. In this Docker server, I will install the Docker engine. Okay, I will install Docker engine. So let me install it. Let's wait. Your server is running state. So you created a simple server and in the AWS, and you are trying to install Docker, and in that I will install container, and I said these containers are wait, it will take minutes, less than 5 minutes, and which are very fast. There is no stuck issue, right? How the system is stuck with 4 GB RAM, within that you are using 4 virtual hypervisor VMs, so it will stuck your system. But Docker containers are very lightweight, very lightweight. So, and also there is one advantage is Docker is Docker is open source. That means anyone can download
Hello.
Hear you.
Hello, Raj. I'm not audible.
What saying his voice is not getting.
Unmuted.